As a 4-year carnivore, I have been low to no carb for 4 years. I love looking under the hood and I love looking at numbers. And recently I dove deeper into my lipid panel and my metabolic markers. And I want to tell you a story about it because it's tending towards putting me in the category of a lean mass hyperresponder because my LDL has gone up. And that is normal on carnivore to have with a higher amount of saturated fat in your diet, to have the LDL go up a bit, and that's okay. We also look at things not in isolation, right? I work with my clients and I always say we're never looking at one number, we're always looking at the entire metabolic picture. So if your LDL is going up, let's look at your HDL, let's look at your triglycerides, let's look at your inflammation markers, let's look at your fasting insulin, let's look at your glucose, and let's see how you're feeling, and there's a lot of other things to look at. I went to my primary care and I asked her I said, look, this is my lifestyle. I've been doing it for 4 years. I'd love to get like a comprehensive lipid panel. And she said, I'm only going to do the standard and then we can kind of go from there. So we did the standard. My LDL came back at 246 and she said, the nurse called and said, I'd like you to go on statins. And I said, cool, let's look at, can you tell me my triglyceride to HDL ratio? And so she dug through the numbers and that is consistently going down. So HDL is going up, triglycerides continue to go down, inflammation markers look amazing, lipoproteins look amazing, particle size is A, like the buoyant, fluffy type. The one number that is concerning, and actually I did not get this from a standard lipid profile, so I do think that Function Health is pretty amazing. I have a link for it. I think there's a discount in it in my bio, but I went to Function Health and I got labs. So super easy. Just went to my nearest Quest Diagnostics and got my labs done. Full metabolic panel, and my ApoB was high, and the ApoB is the amount of particles, lipoprotein particles that could be atherogenic, right? So could actually attach to the artery wall. And so when that is high, and mine is pretty elevated, there's a concern there for future lifetime heart disease risk. So obviously I want to look into that because I love the data and I still want to make sure, I was hesitant when I first started carnivore. Obviously the results spoke for themselves in terms of, maintaining a lean physique, feeling amazing, brain fog going away, dealing with finding and then dealing with my food addiction. So many reasons why I'm still carnivore, a lot having to do with my food addiction. But I love data. I think data is amazing. And I think carnivores, we need to continue to understand how we are all different and individual metabolically. That's how I treat my clients, and continue to do the research, right? And I love that there are smart people in this space that are doing that. So when my ApoB number came back high, I called my doctor, sent her those numbers and asked her for a coronary artery scan. And I just did that this week. Well, the results, 0. So I have 0 plaque at this time. At the time of the test, 0 plaque. So that's really good. So for somebody with high LDL at risk, high ApoB at risk, I still have no calcified plaque. So I think that's a win. And I don't know how often I'll get the CAC scores, but I do love that that's a part of the picture. Again, all the other numbers are amazing. I am not insulin resistant. My glucose is great. I'm often in ketosis, not always because we can go up and down. But my metabolic health, by all intents and purposes, is pretty great. So I feel good about this. I tell my clients to always look, nothing is in isolation. People always ask me, what supplements should I take on carnivore? Test. Don't guess about it. Get testing done. There's a lot of resources that I give to people because I don't do all the testing, I don't read all the tests, but I do give advice and I give you, good information so that when you go into your doctor's office, you feel like you can have the uncomfortable conversation that I had. I didn't know this at the time, but my primary care, who I don't see often, don't really care to, she's a vegetarian. Should probably find someone new. But I'm happy with these numbers. I'm happy with what it shows. And if you are kind of a lean mass hyper responder, I'd love to hear from you in the comments.